Good morning. Good morning. How are you? We're going to give it a couple of minutes for people to get in here, and so we can make sure that we're live and everything's working okay. I've noticed we've got a fair few people here that are actually. Let me just check this. Yep, good. I've noticed we've got a lot of people now in here from Bigger Pockets. So thank you very much. It was very nice of you to put up with me on the podcast and, more importantly, do something that's for you. Now, you've got to get a few things straight. We've got to get some context in what we do within this group. I'm not here to inspire. I'm not here to motivate. I'm here to give you impact and activational moments that you can go, whoa, I'm going to do that in my business. I'm going to do that in my relationships. I'm not here to go, hey, you can be great. You may not. And if you do nothing with it, you're not going to be. But the one thing that you've got to learn, which is kind of mantra for everything that I get involved in, is the first time you do anything, you're going to be shit at it. That's the bottom line. You know, anything you do for the first time in comparison to what it is like a year down the line, you're going to look back and go, oh my God. When we started doing podcasts, and I'm still embarrassed with a few of them that I did on the art of making things happen. But when we first started, we had, I think we did something like about 18 episodes. And then we went back to number 1 and we deleted a ton of those and got them down to 5 that we actually finally put out. So understand, anything you do today as an entrepreneur, give yourself permission that the first time you do anything, it's going to be an almighty crapper. And don't fret about it. Accept it. And as a good friend of mine, Ari Mizell, said, get going and then get good. All right. So focus on that. We don't want anyone chasing perfection. As we always know, perfection is a unicorn with blue testicles. It doesn't exist. But get going with anything you're doing. Now, this live I wanted to do was for those people that are now in the virtual world, that are online. Now, I'm not on about you potentially being a virtual speaker. Maybe you are. Maybe you're a speaker and you need advice on what's the best equipment. We're going to go over that. But even if you're doing a presentation, even if you're doing a Zoom call, even if you're doing a one-on-one sales meeting, you still got to focus on the 4 fundamentals of being online. There are things you need to pay attention. And I'm going to be walking through that with you. Now, what I am going to tell you to do is, and I know we're entrepreneurs, we don't like to be told anything, is if you have a question, throw it in the comments and I'm going to answer them for you. Again, these are here to help you grow. We do them on the Entrepreneur's Advantage, and then we do them in the Speakeasy with my expert friends like Jim Quick and Jay Abraham. If any of you guys are contemplating joining Sim's Distillery to get into my inner circle, where you get more of me and more of my friends, stop contemplating, start doing. I guarantee you I will not let you down. That's at simsdistillery.com. That's the promotion out of the way now. How can we impact you? Now, this is for those people that are watching it live, we're going to run through the 4. For those people that have recorded, watching the recording and want to skip through, we're going to focus on different elements of the online world and what you've got to be paying attention to. So, as I say, big shout out to the Bigger Pockets community. Thanks for being part of our sandpit. You know that we don't take ourselves seriously, but we take seriously the impact we do. So there you go. Have a sense of humor with you. I'm going to run through the 4 fundamentals, and let's start. The first thing that you cannot avoid is terrible, and you should never, over anything that we go over, apart from the final thing, this is the thing you need better than anything. Sound, okay? Quality sound. Now, you've seen I put it out of there. You may not be able to see this, but I've actually got what they call a Lav Mic. It's a clip mic, and it's powered. The best one that I think on the market is this fella here. It ain't cheap. And if you're doing just something online, then quite simply just using Apple earbuds are good. But don't go onto a live and not have any kind of headphones on. You've got to have some kind of mic going on. The bottom line, I just read what someone said. The bottom line is people can't forgive good sound, okay, or bad choppy sound. Focus on your sound. Now, this one I've got here, which is the Sony, is actually what they call phantom powered. It's got a battery in it as well, which boosts the sound quality. It's one of the best Lav mics on the market. Everything I buy, even if I don't travel, I buy to be portable. So in case I move somewhere, in case I've got to do something remote, in case I'm away at one of my speakeasies or whatever, I can travel with it. These things are really small, but they're $156 each one. And I've got 2 of them so that when I'm doing my virtual happy hours or anything like that, by the way, virtual happy hour next Friday, be there with a humor and a good glass of something. We tell really bad jokes for about an hour, but we use these. You can't forgive choppy sound. Sound is everything. That's the number one thing. As I say, I use this mic. I actually run it through something called a Shure X2U. If anyone can Google that and then put a link in this chat line so someone can see it. It actually enables the cable, because the cable that you get on a computer is this one. Where are we? It's this little, oh God, trying to find you on the, there you go. It's that little fella. So any good mic is going to have that kind of connector. This one does as well. Then it goes into the Shure X2U, and then that acts as a USB and goes straight into your computer. Okay, so you can use a quality mic. Now, the mics that I use when I'm doing podcasts for ease is this fella. This is a Shure 58 mic, and it's only about $70. I've got more of those around the house than throwaway coffee cups because they're brilliant, and I lose them, and then I find them about 6 months later, and in between that, I've already bought 2. So the Shure 58 mic is the same mic that people use on stage, and they're actually what are they called? Not dynamic. The opposite to a dynamic. Well, someone's going to come up with it soon. Is when you walk away from the mic. Let me help you. So I'm talking to you here now, and when you move it away, it makes it duller. Those mics there, you only need to be a couple of feet away from those things, and they are brilliant. They will not pick up sound. I've had gardeners out the back of this studio, and quite simply, they've been out there blowing and doing all that cutting and stuff like that, and it's not been picked up on my mic. So make sure you get a microphone that can actually keep it closer to you. Mic is the number one thing. That's the first thing. The second thing, and probably the thing that everyone's been talking about, cameras. My God, where do we start? Now, this is one of those things that you need and you have no control over. Now, I'm using the mic now, and I use a MacBook Pro. And my MacBook Pro, I'll be honest with you, it's probably about 6 or 7 years old. And the reason I've got this a computer and I like the keypad. Okay, I don't like the keypad of the new ones. They don't move down as much. So my lens isn't as good as my wife's, but I've tried it on both. Now this is the Logitech Webcam HD. Sits on the back of your laptop like that, and that's HD. The downside is whatever camera you use still gets compressed. Now we're using live stream at the moment, and if I check on my live stream settings, I should be. Let me just double check here. I'm on high definition 720, and I'm on live stream. Even with that being able to do the 1020, it doesn't matter. It's still going to compress it. Now the problem with this, and I do like it, I think you can adapt it or edit it, but it makes me very bright. And the other problem is I've got a USB adapter because it runs with an actual C. It runs a little bit of kind of jitter, so I end up with a little bit of a robotic effect. And even when I take the adapter off and I use it on my wife's, which is a direct USB-C, still does the same thing. So no matter what camera you get, it's going to reduce the quality. I was on a live stream the other day to someone that I'd never heard of before, using a platform I'd never heard of before, and it was 420. And it looked as though it was damn near black and white. It was just horrible. So no matter what camera you're going to get, you are going to suffer. Whenever I do a video that's just me, and I video me, and then I upload it for like a YouTube or something like that, I use the Mevo, and I use it with the boost. I don't know if you've got these. I know they've got a new one that's come out. But one of the pretty things about this, so that I don't lose it, is on the back of it, it's got a direct connector to a USB, okay? When you haven't got the boost, you don't have that. You've just got literally the power cable on the back. Now, these are operating as webcams at the moment. They've just upgraded them to run on 720. They're pretty damn good, but no better than what you're looking at now. Once they manage to be able to get it up to 1080, this is the kitty I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using my Mevo. This Mevo is so strong that it will actually show up the spots on the spots on the spots and even the hairs on those. So be careful about how close you are to it. Also, it will download a RAW file that is massive, and you won't ever be able to upload to anything outside of NBC. So make sure that you're actually getting a good camera, but understand no matter what camera you're getting, more than likely it's going to reduce it to 720, and even on some platforms it's 420. At the moment on my screen I'm looking really sharp, and I'm going to give you a little tip on something else in a second, but I do suggest that you get, you know, a semi-decent camera, but understand it's going to be reducing it. This is something I want to talk to you about, the GoPro. Now this GoPro is very good. You can actually stream with it. Again, when you stream with it, what a zoom and everyone compress it to 720. So even though this thing again can shoot the inside leg of a gnat, it's no good when you're streaming because again it's going to compress. But I've actually got a little portable Bluetooth mic, which is my Rode mic. So if I'm traveling and I'm actually doing it in a hotel or something like that, that sounded rude. But if I'm recording in a hotel, which doesn't actually sound much better, I can actually get Bluetooth sound from this. And this clips inside your shirt and just the top bit of it pokes out and it's really good sound. Very, very good. This one, as you'll notice, is the media kit mod for the GoPro and actually comes with its own microphone on there. Okay. It's not bad. It's not bad on its own. So if I'm actually going away to a hotel, I can actually use this just on its own and it's pretty damn good. Throw this on it, transforms it into brilliance. And again, as I say all along, get great sound over great video. Okay. So that's one thing there. We're doing well, but if anyone's got any questions coming in, debris, which is good. Yeah, that's a 4K. There are some really, really good ones out there. But again, if you go through a StreamYard or a Zoom, they control the output or the upload. I'm going to go over with you something now. You know you need a good mic. You know you need a decent camera, okay? But this is something that really is a game changer. It's still not the ultimate thing you need, but it's still a game changer. And I'm just going to play with it here. Good light. Have you seen how dramatically that changes things when you've got good light? And I'm even going to do something different in a second. So let me turn that off because I want to be able to show it to you. Hang on. You see, once you've got good light, it actually enables the camera to do what it can do. So good light is everything. So get your mic, get a decent camera, but get good light. And I've got an 18-inch light ring around here. And that little light that I just turned on is that little fella. There's a company called Litra and Lume Cubes. Now, this is a Lume. We've got both of them. And it's actually got a light condom on it. It's a diffuser because quite simply, if you shine that into someone's eyes, you know, it's too bright. But it's got this little diffuser on it. And that's at low. And it comes up. You see, well, you probably can't see that very well, but that's actually just gone up in different settings. These are also magnetic. So whenever I've been somewhere, I've been in a hotel room, and a lot of the time I will use my phone. And let's be serious, the iPhone cameras and the Samsungs are absolutely brilliant. Get one of these things, stick it on the edge of your cabinet or stick it on the side of a light. I usually find that the bed side light is usually some kind of metal. Click, stick that on there because it's magnetic. Turn it on. You've got about 20 minutes with these. They overheat and then they turn off. So if you're doing just a short video, these are absolutely fantastic. If you're in any kind of studio environment or you want to create any kind of studio, then you need an LED light ring. LED, that's the key for that. Look for an LED light ring. I did actually send a photograph onto an Entrepreneur's Advantage and the Speakeasy Facebook page showing you my studio. And quite simply, it's in my garage and it's on my bike lift. So whenever I need to repair one of the bikes, I just cloud it on it. What I'm trying to say with that photograph is don't overthink things. Okay, I've got my laptop on a bucket, a green bucket. I've had that green bucket for years. I've got a light ring. I've got all the apparatus I need, and I can pull it off of this motorcycle ramp within about 5 minutes. Okay, tops. Okay, probably even quicker than that. So You've got to get a good mic. Can't forgive bad sound. Okay. You've got to get a decent camera, although most things have them. The phones are brilliant. They have them. The GoPros are brilliant. Your computer is probably good enough. Get good light. You definitely need good light. Good mic, good light, then a decent camera. But now, drum roll, okay? Before I go into any Q&A, the thing that you need on every time you're doing any live whatsoever, decent content. If you're out there spouting shit and it makes no impact and help to anybody else, it doesn't matter if you've got the full Rockefeller NBC studio at your fingertips. Content is king. Even if you've got slightly bad sound, a really ropey camera and no light at all, but what you're doing impacts someone else to benefit their life, it'll get through, okay? Focus on your content. The first thing you've always got to know is content is king. Make sure you've got good sound. Make sure you've got decent lighting, and make sure you've got an okay camera in that order, and you'll be absolutely fine. Okay, so those are what I've been doing. I've been rehearsing, as I say, the Logitech. The Logitech I don't really like very much, to be honest with you. The GoPro is really good. I've got a rock form case on here, and this is magnetic. So quite simply, that will actually stick to anything. I've been in a garage, it sticks to everywhere. So I've got to admit, that camera has been brilliant for me to use everywhere. I bought the GoPro and I bought the Rode Bluetooth audio, and I bought the media mod that's got all the little different settings you can put into it. I use the phone. But if I'm in the garage, I use the Mevo, and the Mevo is incredible quality. It can plug into a mic. I can either do it on a Lav mic or I can do it with my Hangover Shure 58, depending on what the ambient sound is outside. That's it. All right, that's what I'm going through. That's what I've discovered. Those are my key points I want to go up there. So let's quickly run through any kind of questions or any kind of statements we could hear here. Loads of kind of like, hey, Steve, you're great. Well, I already knew that, but thanks a lot for writing it. Appreciate it. Carlos, yeah, XLR cable. Bloody annoys you when you forget things. The XLR cable. So if you buy a microphone, you've got to realize that you've got to buy the XLR cable, because you've only got to get a mic that big, even one of these. And you've got to get an XLR cable. And then that XLR cable is either going to have to go into some form of processor, or for travel, get it into something that will cross it into a USB, which is like the Shure that I mentioned to you earlier, which is the X2U, which is the one I've used. They probably have a later one out than that, but hey, always works. But that's the XLR there. Okay, what do we? Okay, thank you, Tammy Gill. You actually put it up there. Truck vibration. Fern, you've got Dr. K. You bought the Rode mic that was supposed to do that. It picks up everything. Wonder if you can go into the settings and dial it down. Okay. If you're using the Rode mic, what are you using it on? Are you using it on a GoPro? I again use Rockform. You know, I don't own stock in the company, although I bloody should. Rockform, ROKFORM. There's these different kind of stands and setups, and I've actually just shoved that in the car. Bearing in mind, when you're in the car, because of the soundproofing of a car, you don't need a Bluetooth mic. Just record straight onto the GoPro or straight onto the iPhone. You'll find that you're in a pretty good setting as it already is. So, you know, you want to maybe look at that one. In StreamYard, I should say that StreamYard has a simulated HD setting that you have to pay a little bit extra for. I haven't really noticed much difference, so I'm at the regular account within StreamYard. But they actually have one now that actually does simulated HD. So let's see how well they get on that one. So any more? The Loom Cube. Okay, so Carlos has the Loom Cube. You like that one? Manoj, thank you very much for bringing the tone of the conversation down. I really appreciate that. He says you always need a condom. Appreciate you. Thank you. I don't know why. Okay, so the GoPro 9. This is the I think this is the 8. I don't think I bothered going up to the 9 unless I'm confused, and this is the 9. But they have a phenomenal shake system on there. I had probably every kind of gimbal, and if you don't know what a gimbal is a little thing that it pulls on there. So when you do this, it doesn't move and it doesn't vibrate, and it keeps it very, very shock sensitive. Your iPhone has a good gimbal already built into it. These now have them. Now, I would mount this to the tank of my motorbike, and with the vibration of the motorbike, I would be seasick if I tried to watch a rewind of my lap times when I was at a racetrack, and I couldn't watch it. I bought every kind of GoPro, hated myself. Following year had come along, I'd buy another bloody GoPro. These are superb now. They iron out all of that. You can shove it on a BMX bike, and these things are great. So the actual shockability and actually getting rid of the vibration on these new 7, 8, and the 9, I don't even know if this is a 9. I don't think it is incredible. They really are brilliant. I also know that if you're careful and you keep on looking on the GoPro website, you can actually trade them in for $150. I traded in like GoPro 3s the other week to be able to get $150 discount off of the new one. So start looking out for that. So yeah, these Rodes. So Dr. K is saying that it's not the Bluetooth one. This is the Bluetooth one. These are very, very good. But again, they work well. Like if I'm in a setting like I'm speaking on stage, I can actually clip that up on me, and it goes. I'll show you how it's done. It's like bloody QVC now. Goes under here like that. Okay, you can actually go on stage. No one can see it when you're on stage. You'll make it look a bit prettier. You can go on stage and do this, and someone can have a GoPro from the back of the thing and be picking up fantastic sound on you and video. So these are really, really good, and they plug into the inside, and the little mic's right up the top. So that doesn't rub onto your chest. That's the little microphone just up there. All right. So those are really, really, really good on there. I do like those. Yeah, so Carlos is obviously chatting with us. Carlos, thanks for the interaction. Yeah, the stabilization that are in these iPhones is second to none now. It's always brilliant. All right, so let's see if there's any. There you go. So Jason, you got a pair of bows that are wired together, so that you can hide them under your shirt. So what are the bows? Are those like a clip-on? Are they like a Lav Mic? I don't know which ones those are, but you know, again, post a little picture of it. Again, I want you to support each other. This page, the Entrepreneur's Advantage page, is for us to support each other. So if you agree with what I'm saying, good. If you disagree with what I'm saying, good. Post it in the page, because I've actually gone out on this page before and gone, hey, I used this and it didn't work. And then someone's gone in and gone, hey, your settings are wrong. I use it and I couldn't live without it. So let this be a page where we're not embarrassed to actually put out there our points and our opinions. Let's not allow people to shame us into not communicating because we're embarrassed that we're not using something right. Because I've always said the solution to your problem could be in the chair next to you. And with the ability and the prominence and the intelligence of this group, there is more than likely someone in this group that can help the problem that you have that maybe you haven't even discovered yet. All right. So do work with a group. Do feel happy to expose any problems you've got. If you don't know how to use something, just post it in there. Hey, I'm looking to solve this. I'm looking at doing this. I'm looking at launching a podcast. I'm looking at doing more videos. How can I do them? And let us help you. All right. So we want to make sure that works. Oh, I get you. Okay, so it's very similar. You know, Carlos has just said to the bows with the mic thing. Yeah, I've seen that used before. I've seen people actually cut this bit off and just have it dangling outside of the shirt. Whatever works, okay? Whatever works, just use it. But again, focus. Make sure you've got good sound. If you're doing a podcast, understand that while people are doing a lot of video podcasts now, still, the majority of people are listening to them on their Peloton or in their car or whatever. Sound is key. There's a reason people have got their face buried into a decent mic, because the sound is absolutely everything. All right. We got 5 minutes coming up now. I only wanted to make this one a short and sharp one for you for 30 minutes. Again, I appreciate you all for coming in. We'll always announce on the Sunday what's coming up the following week, but next week we've got some really cool stuff for here on the Entrepreneur's Advantage and for those in the Sims Distillery Speakeasy side. But here you go. All right, so Anna has actually said that I've got to bring Carlos on. His backpack apparently is pretty amazing. So Carlos, let's have a chat, and maybe we'll get your viewpoint. Maybe there's points that you disagree with what I've said, and as I said, that is perfectly acceptable. We want communication on here. That's what we want to do. Yeah, Carlos. Okay, let me ask Carlos a question directly. The Litra and the Line Cube, I remember when I got those things, they didn't actually last very well. Now, yes, they would last for 2 hours if on low, but if you had them on bright, after about 20 to 30 minutes, they got hot and they turned off. Have you come across a light that, for a start, Carlos, have you come across the same problem as that? Or is there a better one that you can use that actually stays on for more? The LED light, I can run a studio for an hour and it doesn't affect. But this thing here, maybe you can, well, I'm sure you can plug it in directly, but the little body of it overheats. Bearing in mind, because of the magnet as well, it doesn't last very long. So, okay, so he's saying I'm on point. Okay. David, and as I say, we're going to be kicking out soon. Dave uses something called Squadcast, which brings up a good thing because I love the guys at Squadcast. I had them actually speak to us at my speakeasy in Silicon Valley. Was anyone coming to San Diego, Speakeasy San Diego at the end of January? I think we have 11 slots left. So just Google Sims Speakeasy or go to stevedsims.com and look up Speakeasy. It'll tell you about our Speakeasy in January. But we have amazing people come in that help you. And in Silicon Valley, we had a lot of techies come in, like Manny Chat and Tesla. And we had the founders of Squadcast. Squadcast run a system where it records locally. Now, you've got to understand the technology here. Zoom, you're both recording your sound, it's meeting in the middle, and it's being uploaded on the Zoom. And then when you hang up, you get the recording. Squadcast records locally. And there's a couple of companies out there that do it. I personally absolutely love Squadcast. They don't do video yet, though. They record locally. And then when you hang up, they upload directly and then you have to match them in. The difference is that if you've got a slightly unstable Wi-Fi and all of a sudden you start going, it doesn't pick it up. It only picks up you clearly speaking because it records and then uploads a file without uploading any kind of jitters because of bad communication in the middle. So I will say Squadcast for audio only, love them. Love the boys. They came in. They're absolutely fantastic. But I do know for a fact, Dave, they're working on some video stuff. All right. So let's see what they come up with there. Carlos has actually come back to me. He said there's many small ones are short life, but there are slightly bigger panels that plug into the USB and so no power. But do they stay on, Carlos? Do they overheat or do they keep going for an hour? Because that's the only problem I found out from there. All right. So that's it. That's it for now. We do these quite often. I welcome all of the crowd. I welcome conversation. If you've got a subject that you would like to be discussed that's just with me, great. If you've got a problem, post it in here. But utilize this group. This group is here to support and make you more impactful. It's there to challenge you. It's there to get you uncomfortable. And it's there to make you greater. But you get out of it what you put in. So when you're asking the questions, when you're putting out there what your vulnerability is and what your problem is, when you do that, you get the answers. Now, as I've always said, we're entrepreneurs. We're misfits. We're creative disruptors. We're the kids that get laughed at until we're applauded. Okay? Use this group to benefit you. I want to thank you for being the prettier part of me. I see some very attractive people on here. I see some very unattractive people on here. But thank you for being here. All the best. Peace out. And I'll speak with you soon.